Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Azeroth Daily for the 20th or the 21st, depending on where you are, of January 2011. My name is TotalBiscuit, bringing you your daily dose of WoW news and comment. In the headlines today, Lady Sinestra, the uber-hard boss, supposedly at the end of the heroic Bastion of Twilight, has been killed after 5 days' worth of attempts by Paragon. They've issued an official statement of it, and I will be providing a more in-depth analysis on Tuesday's Raid or Die. If you want to go read about it, you can go click in the description below this video. Although, from what I can tell, it sounds like the encounter really is not finished at all and had major bugs all over the place. So I would not expect that to happen again for some time. Some new fan art available over on the Blizzard site that you can download. Again, remember the best way to do this, if you want to download it, is to right-click and click Open Background Image, and then right-click and Save As once it pops up in a separate window to avoid their gallery system. If you like Blood Elves, then it looks like this will be the update for you. Speaking of updates, there's been a minor set of updates to the PTR patch notes that are worth checking out, just to keep abreast of what exactly is going on there. The enraged timer of the Foe Reaper has been changed, a few changes to Dead Mines as well, so go and have a look at that minor update. And with that, it's time for your Daily Blues. Alexina comes out with what I would not exactly describe as particularly constructive posting, saying, "Seriously, Blizzard, you stink like a pair of stale and crappy pants." Oh, that's a great opening. Thanks, you've convinced us definitely that you're 12 years old. And this goes on to complain about the fact that she is no longer able to disenchant those cheap alchemy stone things into maelstrom crystals, which means as a, quote, casual player, getting access to the top tier enchants is now impossible. And, quote, "You've ruined this game totally for casual players." Right, okay, yeah, whatever. Rixian goes on to quote another post that said, "It's been like this for, what, the past 4 years? You had to disenchant epics to get void crystals back in BC, you needed void crystals for enchants, blah, blah, blah. You're complaining about it now?" And Rixian goes on to say, "Yeah, pretty much this. Just because an unintended maelstrom crystal factory production method was brought to a halt doesn't mean the usual way to obtain the materials for high-level enchants from the past few years has changed. We did not intend for maelstrom crystals to be so easily procured." Yes, unsurprisingly, they did not intend there to be an easy way that would crash the entire maelstrom crystal market. And more to the point, if you're a, quote, casual player, explain to me why the hell you need raid-level enchants if you're not doing raiding. I would love to know this. I need raid gear. For what? Because it's pretty. Go to hell. This post comes in from Terravar in regards to the world we inherited from Warcraft 3, and honestly, it is a little bit depressing. I was reading this like, wow, really? Seriously? Apparently he believes there will be no Warcraft 4, and now everything will be an MMO. Just kind of like StarCraft 2 was an MMO, and Diablo 3 and, oh wait. Right, okay, that doesn't seem to be established in any particular fact, but hey, there you go. Response from Vanarus comes in to say, well, everyone's free to guess and speculate. Will we see a Warcraft 4 one day, or perhaps another Warcraft-related game? Nobody can say at this point, but you should never, ever say never. There are plenty of places to explore. And yeah, of course, I would have to agree with Vanarus on that one, because Blizzard has not stopped making single and multiplayer games. Why would they stop now? I mean, are you implying that StarCraft 2 just didn't sell very well? WoW is a cash cow, but please bear this in mind, that cash cow is finite. You can't ask people to pay for more than one MMO. So you have diminishing returns. And also bear in mind, MMOs are incredibly expensive to run, and incredibly expensive to set up, take ages, and are really, really risky. So no, I actually don't think they're going to develop a ton of new MMOs. And if they were going to, they probably would have started doing so in the last 6 years. As it stands, we only just now heard about Project Titan, and that's years ahead, so if we don't see a Warcraft 4, I personally will be really surprised. And with that, it's time for your daily grind. We're going to be covering for the next few episodes a line of quests that go through the knight-errant Maximilian of Northshire that can be found in Ungoro Crater. It becomes abundantly clear as we go on that Maximilian is not exactly sane. And the first quest he asks us to do, after taking a lengthy oath to him, is to slay 15 dragons, in inverted commas. Refuses to believe they're dinosaurs at all and follows you around being entirely useless. And no doubt there'll be more nonsense from him in the next few episodes. And with that, it's time for your weekly feature. This is Mod Your WoW. Going to be having a look at two mods today. The first of these is called Overachiever, and the purpose of Overachiever is to help you catalog, search, and prioritize your achievements, if that's the kind of thing that you like to pursue. There are a few useful features here, including the ability to tag things like, say, critters for the Love Critters achievement. Things that normally wouldn't be easily tagged. They will actually add messages to tooltips for you and help you remember which ones you've done and which you haven't done. There is also a feature that allows you to search through achievements, which is very nice, and it adds all of that, plus achievement suggestions based on which zones you happen to be in. So it's very useful if you're looking to hunt down achievements and get your score to the absolute maximum. Second one, also useful for the completionist, is Quest Completionist. Now, ironically enough, this mod is not complete yet, but it does have several useful features, including the ability to list by zone which quests are available, including the quest that you have completed. This kind of ties in nicely to the Overachiever mod because it allows you to get all of the completion of quest achievements very easily. While it is quite a nice mod, it is lacking in features at the moment, although it's quite light, so you might as well run it anyway. What I would like to see, something really useful, would be the display of prerequisites, as opposed to simply displaying it either by alphabetical order or, of course, by level. It can also query what you've done currently, and you'll have to do that if you want to actually make any use of it whatsoever. But if they do present pre-quests at some point, and the prerequisites of getting to various quests, and some kind of tree showing exactly how to get the quests and all that kind of thing, then that'll be great. It does have a very useful feature of listing the quest givers and their direct locations, their coordinates, so that's really helpful. And with that, it's time for the mailbox. This one comes in from DJ, who says, "Hey TB, I've played WoW for a couple of months now, just before Cata hit the stores. I really like the game and I really like Cataclysm. In my opinion, I guess I'm sort of a casual player. I usually get time to play only on the weekends and have an 85 death night, but even then I have written notes on most of the Cataclysm heroic bosses, which I always read over quickly before running into a fight so I don't horribly die. Lately I've been thinking of joining a raiding guild. I do like my guild, however they aren't really the type that do many raids, and my question to you is this: do you think I need more time input into the game to join a raiding guild than just being available on the weekends? Do you personally know any raiding guilds that might be present on US servers?" No, I can't answer that, I'm sorry. There are so many guilds. I mean, there are tens upon hundreds of thousands of guilds. But whatever the case, as an answer to your question, it's an interesting one because there is this idea that obviously casual and hardcore exist, but I mean, technically, if you go by my definition of hardcore and casual, then if you schedule time to go into raids on a regular basis, then you've transitioned into being a hardcore player. If you can devote time on the weekends, it comes down to when. Can you devote it regularly? Because there are loads of guilds that raid casually. Hell, I think the top raiding division in Trollface right now, there are several raiding divisions, who has cleared all of the normal mode content and is now doing heroic raiding, only raids like twice or 3 times a week. So you don't need to go crazy in order to raid. That's just not the way of it anymore. That just doesn't happen outside of the really top-tier, cutting, bleeding-edge guilds. Yeah, there's plenty of guilds that would accept that, and the best way to do it is to go onto your Realm forums and have a look and see who is available and say, hey, look, is there anyone that does weekend raiding schedules? And indeed, you don't really have to have many people together to do that. Hell, if you want to, you can start your own guild with 10 people and you can do that. So yeah, absolutely give raiding a try. There's nothing stopping you. There really, really isn't. If it's not for you, then try something else. But yeah, go for it. Absolutely. 110%. This one comes in from Jerian, who says, "Hello, TotalBiscuit. I've been watching your show for quite a while, and there's something I seem to never get my head wrapped around. I've seen you buy the companions like the little Ragnaros because they were for a good cause, yet however, Blizzard sells a lot of things out of personal gain, like say the Celestial Steed. Here's the thing, Blizzard's policy tells us to never give real money for in-game items, but they offer in-game items for real money. Why do they contradict themselves? I mean, the items you buy with Blizzard Store are practically useless. Pets, mounts, and can't be sold to other players. There are things that players can sell which don't come from the Blizzard Store, so there's no real threat to each other, so why exactly?" Okay, well, firstly, I didn't buy the little Ragnaros, it was actually donated. I've never bought those in-game pets and have no intention of doing so, because actually I agree with what you're saying. Yes, Blizzard are hypocrites in that respect. I do not agree with microtransactions in a subscription-based game. I just don't. I think it is wrong. You either have one or the other. You don't double dip. I think that is absolutely ridiculous thing to do. That said, I would also go as far as to say, hey, people are actually shelling out money for these things. Blizzard would kind of be a little dumb not to exploit stupid people, because they do seem to have an awful lot of them. And I'm not saying that, hey, people are stupid for buying them, but more often than not, I've heard so many stories of people saying, oh god, you know, I've got to afford that Celestial Steed mount. Let's go hungry for a week, or I can't afford my subscription fee now. There is a correlation, I'm afraid. And let's be honest, when the whole Celestial Steed thing came out, I did think people were stupid for buying it, and I still do. Because, of course, loads of people got it, and suddenly your hyper special star pony unique mount is not so unique anymore. In fact, it's common as muck, and you've just spent $25 on a bunch of virtual pixels, which is like, why would you do that? But no, you're right, Blizzard are hypocrites when it comes to that. They really, really are hypocrites, and it is one of the things that I've most despised. I do not believe in developing content for the game that is outside of the subscription fee, unless it's an expansion pack. You know, expansion packs have massive, great, huge chunks of content. Some people ask, oh, why do you have to pay for an expansion pack? It should be bundled into the subscription. No, it shouldn't. I'm sorry, it shouldn't. It just comes down to the fact that for the last, like, 10 plus years, MMOs have been selling expansion packs. It's as simple as that. And it will continue to do that. That's their business model, and I think that's entirely acceptable. Selling little virtual pets for, like, quarter of the price of an expansion pack, on the other hand, not so acceptable. Charging $25 for a transfer fee, not so acceptable. Greed. Simple greed. And I do wish people would stop buying those pets. If you want to give to charity, then just give to charity. And bear in mind that most of those pets are not for charity. Okay, folks, I'm done for the day. Thank you very much for watching Azeroth Daily. As always, feel free to thumb it up if you like it, thumb it down if you don't. And a quick reminder, by the way, we're getting towards the end of the Shorty Awards nomination period. Few days left on that one. If you haven't voted and you would like to vote for me, you can nominate more than one person. So if you like C-Nanas and you like Extra Credit and you like, of course, Day 9 and people like that, you can vote for all of us. It's not a problem. And the top 6 will go into the finals. Currently, I've got a pretty comfortable lead on number 3. It will be awesome to boost it up just a little bit. Thanks a lot, guys. Check out the link in the description below this video if you do want to nominate me for that. And I will see you next time.